thought I had the wrong.
People say the left and the right can't agree on anything these days. Well, there is this one thing they agree on. Right-winger Tucker Carlson has Nick Fuentes and Holocaust deniers on his podcast and wonders along with them who really was the bad guy in World War II. And the New York Times has on their podcast super leftist Hassan Piker, who they call a progressive mind, and who says Zionists should be treated the same as Nazis, which I assume means hung at Nuremberg. That's what progressive is now? I see why the meathead manosphere and the Code Pink people are on the same page, because they both went to high school in America and they don't know anything. So we really could someday soon have the Tiki Torch Jews will not replace us crowd and the Queers for Palestine people working together to elect the next Hitler.
You got to give it to him, Eric. I mean, he's really nailed it in that. I think that was a shortened version of his whole thing, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
It's true. It's true. Just when you thought anything couldn't get any weirder, it's true.
Yeah, and he summed it up very succinctly. But you know, like I keep saying about him, every other week. One week he's right on point. The next week he says something that's just obnoxious and annoying. So, you know,
well, he's getting more consistent about these issues that rational people fret about. I mean, there is a certain consistency about the big issues that he's on.
This is true.
Yeah. The little stuff he's still insane about, but he seems to be getting in fights with every guest he brings on, Eric.
Well, it's an easy place to be because, I mean, one, he's Jewish and he's right. Yeah. Everybody gets along on that. Something that they can agree about. So that I think is a salient point. And that's something I've said many, many times, like, you know, to Nate and other people. It's like, yep, if there's one thing that there's harmony about, go to the left, go to the right. Don't care for them Jews. Don't care for them Jews.
Well, it's a recent development. It's not, that old of a thing. The one on the right is super recent. They have just decided to tear MAGA apart. I will never forgive them for this, politically or emotionally or psychologically. Forget about the Jew angle. Just about tearing MAGA apart over some minuscule situation that they're not happy with. Okay, I understand you're not happy with something. But the alternative that we just went through of 4 years and the 8 years prior to that is so draconian and so crazed that these people are willing to gamble our lives and MAGA upon that on this one issue. It is unforgivable. It is insane. It is retarded. And they should never, ever be allowed back into this party.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't even know what to say. These insane people like Massie and Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker, what is their fucking problem with this president? I mean, it's absolutely deranged, Eric. They're willing to tear the entire fucking thing down over whatever their particular issue is on that day.
I 100% agree. And you know what? That's a great place to start. I thought, I was thinking about it because obviously one of the hottest contested primaries going on is happening today. But before we do, we have to do a little bit of victory lap. So let's visit the late congressman, as in late political career, Bill Cassidy out of Louisiana, struggled and could not even make the top 2 of his runoff and is out. He is completely gone out of the election. He will no longer be in the Senate. It is the worst showing, according to Harry Enton, in 80 years of a primary ever seen. He didn't even hit 25%. He couldn't get 25% of the people to vote for him.
You and I have been talking about this and waiting for Trump to do this for years. You and I on this show have said, when is the political hammer coming down on these rats? And the political hammer has come down on Cassidy and hopefully these other rats. This is a side of Trump I've been waiting to see for years. And everybody against him said, why waste the primary? Why? Trump is just thin-skinned. Trump should just get along with these people who hate his guts, who voted for his impeachment, who are willing to undermine all of his positions. Well, you know what? Fuck them. He just drove a stake into the heart of them. And he's not done. He's not done.
It started with Indiana.
Yep.
It's continuing here.
Yep.
And I do want to point out, because I think this is very true, that Maha really came into this. So as happy as Trump is about it, Bobby Kennedy had to take a drink or celebrate, whatever, have a fizzy drink, because honestly, Cassidy has been a thorn in his ass. He barely got confirmed and was held hostage by the son of a bitch. So now he only has to deal with them for a few more months.
Yeah.
Now, I guarantee that Cassidy will probably go right down the McConnell route and sabotage him at every turn.
Thune is acting out now, and you've got, Thune is exactly the same as him. He's got to go next. I don't give a shit what it costs. To be honest with you, I don't care if the RNC spends all their money to get rid of these guys in primaries. It's got to be done. You can't have your agenda moving forward when you're being undermined by people in your own party, when the alternative is a complete Nazi regime. If they ever get back into power, the Democrats, they keep saying they're going to hang people, indict people, jail people, but let's fight over some interstitial party policies. Let's rip the party apart over our hatred of the Jews. Let's destroy the entire fabric of the Republican MAGA movement over issues involving Save America Act, showing voter ID. Give me a break. I mean, he's got to drive them out, Eric. You're right.
100%. And let's go to our I think the final nail, whatever we want. It's not guaranteed yet, but there are good signs. The momentum is there, and we're going to look at this guy. Wow. And that, of course, is Thomas Massie. Voting is underway as we speak.
Good.
We're going to find out tonight, most likely. I don't know how long they take to count, but I assume it's a red state, so they know how to count on the same day.
Red state,
so we should know probably pretty soon after polls close. And while we're closing out and we're talking about it, let me see. But what do you think Massie had to say about the election? What subject do you think is going to come up?
No, come on, don't tell me.
Okay, well, let's find out. I mean, I'm sure you'll be surprised, Mark. It'll be shocking to you as we go ahead. But let's listen.
But do you think the people of your district can understand the distinction you're trying to make? After 7 terms serving that district, will they decide to keep you in Washington now, sir?
I think they will. Like I said, we've got the endorsement of the pro-life groups, the pro-gun groups, the local elected officials, the congressmen in Kentucky who've come down and campaigned with me. And my people are smart enough to understand that this is Israel trying to buy an election. Miriam Adelson has spent so much money on my election.
Didn't make it 30 seconds, dude.
Wow. That she was paying for.
What a piece of shit.
In Israel. The Republican
what is this
Coalition and the American Israel
Fuck you hillbilly piece of shit.
In this race. On a guy that's never showed up for a single debate. They think they can buy Kentuckians. They think they can buy this seat because they tried to buy my vote and I wouldn't sell it. And they're finding out it's real expensive. And what they're going to find out is they can't afford to buy this seat in Kentucky. This is the most expensive race.
I mean, in these particular contexts, anti-Semitism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. That is really scoundrelist when you have to go that low. I mean, imagine if he was blaming American blacks for his problems. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
it's outrageous. It is outrageous.
And he made sure to hit it 3 beats. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a 4th one I missed, but I was sitting there. I'm like, oh, that didn't take long.
Wow.
That did not take long at all. And even, and JD Vance, he's been kind of dragged out to talk about this campaign as things. And so he answered questions about, Massie.
Good for him.
Endorsed a candidate to run against Republican Representative Thomas Massie, who's opposed and criticized some of the Trump administration's aims. How would you address those who fear that principled disagreement or independent thinking is discouraged within the party because of how it can be framed as a betrayal instead of as internal accountability or an opportunity for debate and negotiation?
So it's a very good question. And let me say, this one is hard for me. And the reason it's hard for me is because Thomas Massie and I, he's one of the first people that ever reached out to me about my book or about political office. I've known Thomas Massie well before I ever got involved in politics. Thomas's wife died well, maybe it was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. It was a little while ago. She died very unexpectedly, was a very sweet and kind woman. And I was probably one of the first people that called Thomas to offer my condolences. I think the problem with Thomas, and I've told him this in private, and now I guess I'll say it in public, is it's one thing to disagree with the party on a particular issue. It's one thing to have your independent stand on a number of questions. And by the way, some of the stuff where Thomas Massie has been independent against the Republican Party, I've agreed with him with. Thomas and I worked together during 2023, where I was trying to stop the limitless flow of American money to Ukraine. And Thomas was one of the people I was working closest with it. But that's one thing. Being independent, having your own opinions is one thing. Voting against the party on every single issue, you're eventually going to make too many enemies.
Yeah.
And that is the problem that Thomas has had. It's not one issue. It's not 3 or 4 issues. It's that every time that we've needed Thomas for a vote, he has been completely unwilling to provide it. That is why the President of the United States has trained his ire on Thomas Massie. It's because we can never count on him for some of the most difficult votes. I wish that weren't the case. I say that as somebody who's known Thomas well before I got into politics, but politics is politics. And when you always vote against the party, you can't expect the party to actually back you.
That was a great answer, Eric. That really was. I mean, it was without rhetoric. It was without anger, without malice. Just a wonderful intellectual answer to a pragmatic political problem, which is what I've been saying. It's a pragmatic aspect of this administration that I have not heard from until that.
And I'm glad to see JD doing it. I feel like,
absolutely.
Finally, buddy, come on.
Finally. You don't have to get into ideology. You don't have to get into the weeds of every single vote he took. He just summed it up beautifully. The guy has fucked us every single time. You can't expect us to put out the fire in your house when you've denounced the fire department and cut off funding to them.
Yeah, I agree. And the markets have turned. I mean, honestly, I thought it was a long shot because Massie, he's 7 times in there, long tenure. This is the poly market odds.
Wow.
And you can see 61.39 at Gallerin. This is people who are putting up their own money saying, we think this guy is going to win. And how about Kalshi? I don't want to, do that. Oh, look at that. 62-39. So
Gallerin is a real candidate. Everybody's focused on Massie. Dude, this guy's an ex-Navy SEAL, completely decorated war hero, completely righteous business owner, farm owner. Forget about Massie and his ideological bullshit. The guy he's running against is the real deal, which is what I've been saying. I don't know where he came from, but he's got Trump's endorsement and he's got the resume for this. Get this other piece of shit out of there already. It's enough with Kentucky. I'm tired of Rand Paul. I'm tired of this guy. I'm tired of McConnell. What the hell is going on down there, for Christ's sakes? Get this state, Trump won by 1 million points in line with the people who live there. I mean, these are people who support Trump to the death in Kentucky. You talk about being owned by outside interests. Ask Mitch McConnell where his money comes from. Ask his Chinese wife where his money comes from, for Christ's sakes.
Also in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I agree with you completely. And did you see the latest thing that was going on that Massie's campaign did today?
I did not, but I just want to add this. If he does win, he will be a completely isolated Republican independent guy just sitting there by himself. He will have no power. He will have no benefits. He will have no support. He will vote any way he wants to vote. And we will just have lost just one particular vote. And we're going to have to win the House by more than one vote to overcome Massie, which I think we're going to do. But even if he wins, he's just going to be an isolated political figure.
Which I think he'll love.
That's okay. I don't give a
no,
shit.
I'm just saying he'll probably be like, "Oh, look at the I am the guy." You know,
but nobody's going to care about him anymore.
Yeah, that fits with them. But no, the latest bit of chicanery came out of his campaign. Apparently, I'm not even going to say he did it directly. His campaign was texting his 2022 endorsement from Trump.
Oh, that's so low. Jesus Christ.
I mean, and Trump has gone
Dude, this guy
ballistic on this because, I mean, he obviously can't stand the guy, wants him out more than anything.
Rightfully
and then
so.
and
then
he does that, though?
Yeah, I mean, you know that Trump wants to get along to get along. For him to turn on you, you have to continuously become an unmanageable, undeal-making figure to Trump, for Trump to give up on you. In other words, Trump believes he can make a deal with anybody. He can't make a deal with Thomas Massie any longer. And that takes a lot of stuff to make Trump become that part of Trump.
Yeah. Now, to close out this topic, because one of the people who's out there, you know, screaming that there was an AI ad being run against Massie the Precious was Marjorie Taylor Greene. And I never thought I would ever quote AOC, but AOC did a decent job explaining exactly what is up with Marjorie Taylor Greene, because everybody's like, hey, this is a MAGA girl, blah, 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 blah. Even AOC can express what's going on.
MTG, people are like, oh my God, she's saying all of these things. Like, what's gotten into her lately? Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia.
Wow.
She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
That makes sense. You know,
that's exactly true.
That's probably right. I mean, he destroyed her political career. But this is the Trump I've been waiting for and talking about, frustrating for a number of years on this show, waiting for this guy to appear with the hammer, the Nixonian hammer, the Reagan hammer. I mean, guys who knew how to do this. We mentioned LBJ, of course, when this happened, because he was the best at it. But Trump, I am so happy to see this side of him appear as a political animal finally.
Yeah, speaking of political animals, somebody just showed up on Candace Owens and now is on X, and you can follow him too. So, and this is showing you everything about Candace Owens.
Oh, interesting.
Hunter Biden is now on X with a tweet. I'm Hunter Biden. You never actually heard from me.
Well, let's hear what you got.
Now we get to hear from you all the time.
That's great. Recovery advocate.
For 1 minute, I have more.
Look, it says recovery advocate. He's not just a drug addict. He's now flipped sides, and he's a counselor.
There you go.
Oh my! The chutzpah is breathtaking. Breathtaking.
It absolutely is. And let me enjoy this 1 minute, folks.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually have more followers than Hunter Biden.
That's beautiful.
That'll go away by the end of the day, I'm sure. But anyway, I for this very small moment, I do have more.
He is trying to find ways to monetize his life that are so desperate because daddy is not taking in any money, and any money daddy's taking in for public speaking, he's keeping. He's not giving it to him. I mean, if he gets 50,000 for a speech or 150 for a speech, he's not giving this guy any part of that. That's all going to jail.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And here is his latest appearance, which is just mind-boggling when you have Jake Tapper, who's sharing this. Look where he is.
DC is corrupt. Politics is corrupt.
But something's changed, Candace. It's not left or right. The DC elite of the left, they crushed my dad because he was never part of that club. He was never part of the Epstein class. You know one thing he didn't do? He didn't greenlight to turn Gaza into a Trump golf course with the maitre d' being Jared Kushner. War in Iran that they started, that every president before him was pressured by the Israelis.
And I do think there was something about the Charlie Kirk assassination that everyone just sort of looked up.
They're the people that Charlie Kirk made. The level of disloyalty or fear, I don't know what it is. And the criticism of you for asking the questions for someone who was like a brother to you, it's like,
wow,
what the F are you talking about?
Maybe they could
I
be
listen to you
partners.
Right on.
Right on.
Oh, she's so excited. She was saying that's a top 3 interview for her. Nathan Livingstone did a great, side by side of her and 2024, talking about the laptop, and then of course now,
right? Oh, beautiful! I like to see that.
Looking
that's good.
Off. No, it is astounding. Actually, you know what? I got it right here. Nathan Livingstone. Everybody follow him on X.
Good. He's
very
work. Good.
Milk Bar TV.
Hunter Biden. Welcome to the Candace Owens Show. But now it's been so long, people have forgotten about all of the weird things that were in that laptop. I mean, this family is so powerful that they are still keeping the media quiet about the most demented aspects of what was found on that laptop. I would rank Hunter Biden up there. I would rank Hunter Biden as top 3 interviews that I would like to do. I know what my account got frozen for on Twitter at the time. It was the text messages between Jim Biden, that's Hunter Biden's uncle, and Hunter Biden regarding an allegation that Hallie made that after getting her addicted to crack, Hunter Biden was sexually inappropriate with her daughter, meaning Beau's daughter, meaning his niece. That's what the text messages we're talking about. And by the way, she would have been underage at that time. Media doesn't talk about it.
I listen to you and I go, right on.
After getting her addicted to crack, Hunter Biden was sexually inappropriate with his niece. She would have been underage at that time. Hunter Biden and Candace Owens. Get excited, you guys.
I'm excited.
Wow, I'm excited right now. I think they should be a team.
I agree.
I mean, he apparently wants to get into that crazy Candace Owens podcast world.
Well, and he said the right word. I mean, you saw that Gaza, Israelis.
Yes. Ooh, she got completely wet when he started to mention those words.
He got the sizzle reel. So now we got a pro-Biden Candace. This is so great. It's
these bedfellows are getting stranger and stranger every week, Eric. I mean, people you never thought would ever be in the same sentence are now on TV together.
I agree. Now, before we go any further, and it's not every day that I get to surprise Mark. I don't always tell him.
I'm surprised already. I don't even know what it is.
Okay, and he surprises me all the time with a story, a drop, or anything else. But the most important kind of story, and it is rare that it happens nowadays, but I'm super happy to announce we have a sponsor.
What?
And their name is Surfshark. So please, everybody, check this out.
Dude,
hey there. Before we go any further, Mark and I want to quickly thank today's sponsor, Surfshark. You already know that you need a VPN to protect your privacy, but Surfshark goes way beyond the basics. They just rolled out 2 incredible new tools. First is the web content blocker, which gives you excellent parental controls for when you have family over and don't want the little ones traveling to the darker corners of the internet. Second is the email scam checker. You can check your email in your inbox and see if it is a scam or phishing attempt. This takes the guesswork completely out of your security. Another fantastic value is that one Surfshark subscription covers unlimited devices. A lot of software subscriptions lock you down to 5 devices or fewer, and you can run out quicker than you think. Just look at my house. Between our computers, tablets, and phones, plus the Apple TV, we have 8 devices. You probably have something similar in your family. Plus, I know a lot of you watch America's Untold Stories and other shows right on your televisions. Surfshark has apps for all platforms: PC, Mac, Linux, Android, iOS, smart TVs, Amazon Fire TV Stick, Apple TV, Chrome, Firefox, even Xbox and PlayStation. This is a massive feature because it means you can use Surfshark to easily geolocate to different regions and unlock international shows directly on your TV. You don't have to deal with the awkwardness of trying to cast from your phone or hooking up a laptop just to watch something that isn't available in your market. Now, we've got an exclusive deal for you. Go to surfshark.com/AUS and use code AUS at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Again, that's surfshark.com/AUS and use code AUS for 4 extra months. The link and code are also down in the description. Now, let's get back to the show. All right.
Yay! That was great, Eric. Fantastic.
Well, thank you.
I just love the family that's watching us on the couch.
Yeah,
they were all. That was the AUS family. I love that they were all sitting there, squished in, watching it on TV.
Hey, and it's a big deal, folks. I mean, if you are in the market for a VPN, that type of thing, please consider checking them out, and it really does help us out a lot.
I'm getting this. This Surfshark, you call it?
Yeah, Surfshark.
Yeah,
they've been around. They've been around for a while, and I do like the unlimited devices aspect of it. They also don't retain their logs, which is really important. So if you're out there navigating and they get subpoenaed, it doesn't matter. Their logs were deleted every day, so they can't be turning this stuff.
Wow.
And it really does help a lot to have a VPN, for obvious reasons. I also like that spam checker in the email. I've got to go through that because I'm getting phishing messages all the time now.
That spam checker thing is the best part of it.
Yeah, it's several parts, man. I mean, they've got
and also the unlimited. I just started counting how many things I have in my house.
You see what I'm talking about?
I know. I just did the math in my head. I've got like 8 things also. 8.
Right. They add up because you just sit there. You're like, oh, I got a phone. I got an iPad. Oh, I got a computer. Oh, shit. I want the TV.
Right. Can these convicts get it on death row? The ones in California with the iPads, Eric?
I wouldn't know. Maybe. I have no idea, but it is a quality company, and I'm really happy to have them on board. Super cool.
Well, it's great that we have a sponsor. Eric said we picked up some subscribers. Maybe things are turning around here. Who knows?
Maybe. You know what? Maybe that's a good time to call. It's early in the episode, and all of you, you can always hit that little subscribe button down below.
Why don't you subscribe like Eric asked? I mean, he's a good guy. I mean, now it's underneath me. I'm talking about it now. I'm a good guy. Why don't you subscribe? It looks like we picked up new subscribers, so maybe we turned what's that?
A few hundred.
That's insane. That's like the first time in months. I mean, it's shockingly good news.
Yeah, I mean, subscribe. Why not? It's free.
It's the only currency that YouTube understands is subscribe. So it's the only way for us to get in contact with them. There's no Mr. YouTube on the phone. Wouldn't it be great if there was a woman you could call YouTube with all your problems? Well, there isn't. There's only the subscribe button. No. That's it.
Yeah, there is.
If you do subscribe today, Eric's going to tell you about the meetup, which you still have over a month to get your shit together. I think June 27th. This is May 19th. What is today? The 18th or 19th?
Yeah, we've got a month and like 8 days. So
right, you got over a month and a week to get your shit together to come down to Anaheim for the giant meetup with the gourmet food and the show, and apparently Nate will be answering questions that you might have of Nate. It's going to be a great event. We do this once or twice a year now, so we really would be great to meet you and talk to you guys about all this crap, especially the midterms, especially to get together and conspire and how to consolidate our intellectual capacity and help each other to win these fucking midterms straight out.
That would be nice. I mean, hang on to the
yeah. I think I'll tell you someone who's bullish on this is Tim Pool. I mean, he is over the moon. This guy's a math fanatic, and every day he just keeps doing the math on these seats. I mean, I used to be like him in high school. Not to denigrate Tim Pool, but I was in high school. I was a guy as a kid who would be able to count every district and the elections, and I was totally into all of that stuff when I was about 18, 19 years of age, and knew it inside and out. But Tim Pool is just killing it with these counts on every seat, Senate and congressional seat that could possibly. he basically is saying Democrats would have to run the table of every possible available seat out there and flip Alaska to win the House and the Senate.
Okay, well, I know that the Senate is going to be far more difficult for them, but I
they'd have to flip Alaska
and
Maine.
Yeah. And I don't think they're going to win Maine because was it Plattner or whatever the guy's name is? More and more is coming out. Apparently, he used to have a Reddit where he admired like bathroom writing and stuff. I mean, it's like they have so much dirt on this guy that's rolling out now. And to be fair, the Democrats on both the huddle and on two-way have been. Oh, there's a lot on him coming out.
Oh, is that true? Okay, great. And it would be a huge upset in Alaska as well. So I don't think that's going to happen. The House seats, by doing this gerrymandering, it may make it bulletproof. I'm loath and scared to say that, but that's what Tim Pool is putting out there, that the amount of seats being picked up every day by this gerrymandering may provide a buffer or cushion of 12 to 14 seats going into the midterms, Eric.
Yeah, to be fair, I feel like it's just to help eat into the losses. Hopefully it's enough to hold strong, but it does make a huge difference.
Right. Also, it gives you momentum. I mean, the party was on the balls of its ass 6 months ago, doing nothing. Now look at the energy in the party. Look at the momentum they've got from this gerrymandering, the victory at the Supreme Court of the United States, the complete denunciation of this retard attorney general you've got who misspelled Virginia. And
he submitted it to Virginia, by the way, to the U.S. Supreme Court. He said Virginia Supreme Court or something.
I mean, it's just, what is the guy, illiterate? I mean, is he
he's a felon, dude, or should be.
I mean, it's just insane that you'd have these misspellings and then submit it to the U.S. Supreme Court, who immediately rejects it and says, go back to your state, stop bothering us. Anyway, all of this stuff is stuff I did not see coming in terms of good news and momentum. So it's really, at least for me, creating some upbeat feelings.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would rather everybody feel scared out of their mind and uncomfortable, like in 2024, where we knew, stakes were so high. Don't go to sleep on your laurels. The Republicans have a habit of, oh, yeah, we're doing pretty good. Okay, you know what? I'll go out for a cocktail tonight. It needs to be.
Look, I'll tell you something. I am hearing, talking about laurels, I'm hearing from celebrities privately in LA that they've already voted for Pratt. And it's obviously anecdotal and minuscule, but I mean, it is unusual for me to hear this from limousine liberals, Eric.
Well, I'm willing to bet that they never would have voted for a Republican.
So we've got a panel.
I don't think they've ever voted for one in their lives.
Exactly.
And they're privately telling me they've already voted for him.
And that is significant. And you know what? On that note, we almost look. June's not that far away. Having a Pratt ad here and there because they're all so good. I've got one keyed up just for us.
Oh, let's see. Oh my God.
Let's see what we've got here.
Okay, so we've got a panel of your average Los Angeles voter to test some of your policies and see how we're doing.
First question, who thinks Mayor Bass did a great job responding to the fires?
Didn't she go to Ghana?
Okay, great feedback. Next question, who thinks Mayor Bass did a great job with the Palisades rebuild?
What rebuild?
Okay, but you agree she's addressed the homeless problem, right?
There's literally homeless people smoking crack at my kids' playground.
Ask them about raising their taxes to pay for crack pipes for drug addicts.
Nobody wants any of this. We just want to feel safe, our loved ones to be safe.
Regular neighborhood maintenance, common sense. Fuck. Pratt's gonna win, isn't he?
We should probably skip the next debate.
So that's what officially happened.
That was very good. That was really a good one.
Oh, it was, and it didn't have any music. I think that was
no. It didn't have Batman in it, and it didn't have a lot of other stuff. It's just straightforward minimalism,
which he does well too.
Yeah,
because Mother's Day, he did that ad with his wife and what they've been through. And then when he, did that Airstream commercial, he said, "This is where I live," the Mr. Beast type of thing, showing the Airstream and the burned out area. It was so effective that they're trying to say, "Whoa, wait a minute, he was living in a hotel," because it's devastating.
Did you see the Prince of Bel-Air parody that he did?
Yes, I did. I
Dude,
play it here, but
fucking incredible, bro. I mean, yes. And he addresses Harvey Levin in it and TMZ, and he's towing the thing to Bel-Air. I mean, brilliant.
Well, to be fair, Harvey Levin has rolled over and endorsed him. So after the little stuff, he finally said, "Yeah," because he was on with Garagos, Mark Garagos.
Garagos is voting for him too.
Oh, big time!
That whole Adam Carolla, Dr. Drew, Garagos.
Oh, they're all going for him.
They're all in for Pratt. All of them.
Oh, neck deep for Pratt.
Yeah, they have a lot of influence in that region. They really do. All with their podcasts.
Sure.
And I think Garagos has a podcast with Harvey Levin.
And he also has one with Carolla, or he did have one with Carolla for a long time.
Well, I know he's been doing one with Harvey Levin, so I think.
Okay, maybe that's where it was. But I know that Harvey said, I'm voting for him. He won the debate, and Garagos is like,
who cares about the debate, which he did win. But I'm saying, how could you possibly vote for more of the same? Who gives a shit? Whoever I don't care if a yellow dog was running. You just can't continue the policies that are ongoing here.
Yeah, but
they're not even apologizing, Eric. They're not even saying we still have to have the needle exchange program. We still have to have the homeless thing. We still have to do this and that. I mean, they're not apologizing. They're Marxists.
Well,
they're not going to change their stripes.
It's a ray of hope that's never mattered before. This is the first time the idea of competence has actually come into play.
Right. And I'll tell you something. I've not seen one ad for ramen, not one ad for Karen Bass anywhere. And this guy is killing the airwaves. And what they've done is they've hired influencers on X to go after Pratt. And it's all these different influencers. And when you
like Hassan Piker and
no, just nobodies. They're just nobodies. But they have some amount of following of 5,000 or 10,000. Not huge influencers, just baby ones. And they're just hammering all day. Pratt lives in Bel-Air. Pratt's father did this. Just insane things all day for $1 a tweet.
You know who tried that before? It was a podcast. It was Kamala Harris. When she rebuilt that studio, remember that she brought in the podcast and rebuilt her studio exactly? It was like, oh, look I'm on a lame ass show.
I've responded to about 100 of them by simply saying this is a paid tweeter, please disregard. And everybody's going, thank you to me. Not one of them has responded to me calling them out as a paid influencer. Not one.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Well,
I mean, it is. They've been caught so flat-footed that I think that they don't even know which way to go.
They don't know which way to go. They're completely
it's just unthinkable. I mean, it's like
this is like somebody running in the Soviet Union against Stalin, and all of a sudden they got a big percentage of the vote, and Stalin doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, 100%. Now let's go and shift over to the other coast. We've got the Luigi Mangione trial going on. Lining up, arguing over evidence, etc. Interesting rulings. I'm going to play this clip for a second because it's got a neat little piece in it where he was picked up in the McDonald's.
Police arrested him. They seized evidence from his backpack, including the alleged murder weapon and writings investigators say could be considered a confession. But
I don't know if people had seen that before, the footage of him, when they picked him up at McDonald's. But the evidence apparently on him at that McDonald's is not being shown to the jury.
Why?
Very interesting. They were saying that the police, I guess they ruled that the police didn't have the probable cause or any reason necessarily to search his bag and everything for it. But other evidence is being allowed, including his gun and
I mean, the murder weapon,
manifesto.
The manifesto and the confession, as we call it,
right,
in law school, and the murder weapon, as we call it on the street.
Right. Let me see the so what is being suppressed is the magazine, cell phone, passport, wallet, and computer chip.
Wow.
They decided that the search of the backpack at the station house was a valid inventory search. So the items discovered there, including the 3D printed gun, notebook, and handwritten slips of paper with the escape routes, will be allowed. I guess it's what they found on site. No.
Right. It's so randomly insane. It's like the judge is being King Solomon to these super expensive attorneys who need to make their bones in this case because of their reputation. So the judge is splitting the baby, saying, okay, I'll give you half of this and half. But it's insane. Fuck this judge. Just let the people decide this. Let the jury decide, schmuck.
I agree.
Why should this judge suppress any evidence at all? Let the people, I mean, give this to the jury, give this to everyone, and let his expensive defense attorneys explain it away. That's the way the process works. Not some far left judge saying, I'm going to disallow half of the effing evidence in this case, because I don't think the jury can fairly analyze this evidence, which means this would really influence the jury to convict him, and I need to help these defense attorneys.
I agree. I agree completely. Now, to continue on his case, have you ever heard of the term hybristophile?
No. What is that?
A hybristophile, and I assume it's always females, but I guess it could be a male. But these are essentially fans of killers and criminals, and we commonly would call them groupies. So
groupies,
outside of the court, look what we have. We have the Luigi Mangione fan club.
Brian Thompson, that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I want to say. Brian Thompson, his mom, that lady who said something on Inside Edition. I said what I said. I don't give a fuck.
His children are better off without him. They need to learn to not be like their dad and enjoy.
Now they're talking about the victim. Their children are better off without him.
Right.
That's literally what she just said. This caring citizen. So this is
look how sick they look. So normal, and they're so evil. You know what I mean? They're the same age, the same pop culture zeitgeist world, and tattoos and makeup, and they're fucking Manson girls. That's what they are. These are Manson girls. These are squeaky Frome. This is who they are. Every one of these girls is a Manson girl type.
Yeah, I actually interviewed a psychologist or out of Ireland who's done a lot of work on it, and he was talking about James Holmes, who was the guy who shot up the Aurora Theater.
Batman,
had the red hair, during the Batman movie.
Yeah.
And these girls, they're called like Holmesian girls or something like that.
They're Manson girls. We know them. We know who they are.
Well, it's interesting because there's a parallel there with a mass killing, and it's Dr. Robert King, sorry. And what he researches that there's two types. There is the younger one, like the Mangiones of the world. Now, he's not a mass shooter, but it's kind of a similar profile. And then you have older ones. Now, the older ones tend to take themselves out, and they've already lived their lives. Their kids are in college, whatever it is. But the younger ones, evolutionary wise, usually in evolutionary psychology, it's a way to attract females. Right. So they're doing it to get famous. And that is an argument. And I personally believe that with mass shooters, we need to stop publicizing their names. I think it would be great to do the opposite. Instead of saying their name, just say some idiot and then memory hold them. Literally do the exact effect to take away any incentive of notoriety that they gain from doing the crimes.
Well, okay. It's hard to get all these media people in a row, but not opposed to it. But yeah,
well, I mean, they do it right now with
half of them
can't speak on YouTube.
Half of the media does, or a quarter of the media does it right now, probably 25%.
Right, but there's also the self-deletion clusters that have occurred all over, and they don't report on names there because when they report on the names, they tend to be more self-deletions with people reading them.
Interesting.
So there is a precedent of this happening.
Well, we'll follow this Mangione trial. I mean, anything less than the death penalty or life imprisonment for this piece of shit will be a loss for American society.
I agree. Now, you sent me this story, and I have not. Oh, hold on, I have not been able to. Haven't gotten through it yet, and this is fury as Trump gets 1.8 billion taxpayer-funded payout from his own government.
Yeah, why is this an act of corruption? There's MAGA people on the right, MAGA Reich people saying he's corrupt. This is money that comes related to the January 6th rioters as lawfare. He shook them down again, Trump, with his lawsuit, got a settlement out of them, and will distribute this money, apparently. I don't get how this is a stunning act of corruption. That's really a twist of fate and words here. Raise a new level. Oh, it's coming from Ron Wyden, one of the most far left senators in the United States. So they agreed to drop their suit on Monday, as well as 2 claims, including for damages resulting from the raid on Mar-a-Lago and the Russian election interference, in exchange for the government's creation of an anti-weaponization fund. This is another great attempt by Trump successfully fighting back against these fascists. The fund will have the power to issue formal apologies and monetary relief owed to claimants. It will be governed by a 5-member commission appointed by the Attorney General, with Trump given the power to remove any member. This is a great, great move to fight back against the January 6th mob. And I mean the mob that implemented this phony thing.
So what you're saying, just so I understand, is that it is a settlement and a penalty for government overreach of people who are guilty, and and they happen to include the Trump family, but it does not
and he's creating
who are being harassed by the government.
He's creating a fund and a commission with the money to make sure it never happens again. I don't know how you get from that, ignoring that part of the storyline, to Trump family corruption. I mean, it's such a leap as to be insane. And it's a creative way to deny the real meat of the story by leftist journalists. Great victory for Trump, and great victory for the American people, by the way.
Well, yeah, and people in the future, because there's a fund, for future abuses that occur. Now there's some money earmarked and some degree of recourse. It's not a terrible thing.
No. And the power of these lawsuits, I had no idea that you could use these lawsuits. They always depicted these lawsuits earlier in his career as him being just a guy who's litigious and nuts. But in reality, look at what he's gotten out of all of these lawsuits, whether it's the Ivy League schools, whether it's the Guardian and the BBC, now the IRS. One after another, these massive settlements that he's getting, obviously because of their fear of discovery and these things going forward. But he has used this legal weapon. No president has ever done this. No sitting president starts suing all of these various institutions and entities for political purposes. I've never seen it done.
I agree. And I think it's kind of about time, because really you have the entire left just running amok. Between them, the media, everything else, they can just say whatever the F they want. They can do anything they want. And nobody's ever done anything. They're just like, what are you going to do? They have all the power. So he's just saying, no, I'm going to sue you. And it's a weird analogy, but we were talking about Carolla earlier, right?
Yeah.
And Adam Carolla always talked about smokers in California versus the NRA. and it was a comparative story. And he talked about how the NRA at one point, now they're kind of ballless too, some people would say, and not fighting enough. NRA was like, no, I don't care if it's a bazooka. Up yours. No, I'm not going to ban it. No, I'm not going to accept that. Screw you. I'm suing. Right. Versus the smokers in California, but they were like, hey, you know what? Would you mind going over to your own section over here? And they're like, oh, okay. And they went over to their own section. Then they're like, oh, you know what? Why don't you go on and get outside? Right. We're done with you in here.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they're all of a sudden outside. Then it's like, you know what? Why don't you go around the back of the building? We don't want you anywhere near the front of the building. And they're like, oh, okay. Well, Trump is kind of doing the same thing here. Instead of just rolling over, he's saying no. Every single time they do anything, he and his family and people like him are saying, we'll sue you. Yeah. You've got to be able to back it up, or we're going to sue you and you're going to suffer. And I think it's a good thing. He's just giving them stakes now. Now they have to think about it. If it's a legitimate thing, then they can go after him. He can't sue him because there'll be no case. But if it's bullshit, then they have vulnerability.
I'm getting into these David Horowitz books, and I started reading another one, which I think might have been his last book because it encompasses the Biden administration and Trump in this thing called The Radical Mind, which I highly recommend. And in that book, he talks about the Republicans not responding to the left, calling them Nazis and fascists 24/7. By not responding, it sticks, they look weak. And he can't figure out why the Republicans are so weak in this book, which I highly recommend because it's contemporary. It's probably his last book, but it covers the Biden administration, and it brings everything around and up to date about these Marxist techniques of verbally calling the opposition the most draconian names you can come up with and making it stick. And the fact that the Republicans are too afraid to even respond to the phrases racist, neo-Nazi, Nazi, homophobe, Islamophobe, just nonstop assault in one direction without any pushing back. And Horowitz has, to his credit, has trouble understanding it as well as I do. I mean, it's really
like you.
No, but I'm saying
it came over.
No, but he explains everything for me. Because he got there before I did, and I'm reading every one of his books nonstop, following his life from his first book, Radical Son, or I forget the name of the first one, but
there's several of them.
No, I mean the autobiography that he did.
Right.
The first one I think is called Radical Son. He's got another book called Radicals that takes 4 radicals and looks at them closely, which is riveting. One is Tom Hayden, another is Cornel West, another is Christopher Hitchens, and he completely analyzes and knows them and discusses their careers. Fascinating book. Fascinating. All of them are fascinating.
I especially am interested in Hitch because Hitch had a full arc. I mean, Hitch was pretty much a full-on leftist, and he's shifted over time.
But he points out it's not a shift. I don't want to give it away, but he explains the shift in the chapter. The book is divided up into like 4 radicals, but yeah, I know. I thought the same thing. He explains it a little differently.
All right, well, that makes sense. I mean, that's like Bill Maher. People might say he's shifting. He's probably like, no, I've been standing in this damn spot my entire life. This is what I believe, and the Overton window keeps moving around, and that's Elon Musk's claim.
Radical Son is the autobiography. That's the first one I read, because that explains his parents and his upbringing in a communist secret family that only met with other secret communist families, the entire social life of a communist kid. It's just absolutely riveting. The closest I could understand is the Meerpole kids with the Rosenbergs, but I think they knew them. I mean, I think they were social friends to the Rosenbergs.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but before we go to the next story, though, some really generous super chats came in, and I just want to thank everybody here and get these through. Christine Barbic 8033 said with $50. Thank you very much. And this is actually a story we have. I agree with Trump's endorsement of Ken Paxton. However, I'm worried that politically this might hurt him.
Might hurt
I don't
Paxton
think so.
or Trump.
Probably she thinks it hurts Trump. I don't think it does. Honestly, I think that Trump saw internal polling and said,
yeah,
he's probably going to win. Let me get him behind him, and just shoved Cornyn out the door.
You and I talked about this happening. I wish it would have happened a little earlier, but we had this discussion that Trump eventually had to endorse Ken Paxton.
Yes.
I mean, there was no way. I mean, he was delaying on Cornyn for a reason.
I think so.
He's going to topple this piece of shit. It's a great day for Texas.
It really is. But to be fair, I like I said, I think that Trump saw that the Paxton's going to win, or could do okay against Tallarico later, and he said, okay, let's go for it.
Does it have the betting market on this thing? I haven't looked at it in a long time.
I've not seen it, but I know that Tallarico is now favored to win at this
get out
moment.
That's insane.
At this moment. Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
I remember Beto O'Rourke was,
he
going
was
to win
too.
multiple times. So I'm not saying it's going to happen just at this moment.
Right.
And then Pew Pew came in with some memberships. 20. He is throwing down hard. Thank you so much, Pew Pew. Always so supportive. I mean, Pew Pew even shows up on my grill stream on Saturdays. He's a major support on the channel, and it's great to see you. Thank you. All the way from Norway. And Sean Lucan came in with $50. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Well, you've just made our Tuesday very happy. Thank you. We might have a sponsor, but you guys are our true sponsors.
That's
You're
true.
the ones who are holding it together for us.
That's true.
And we deeply appreciate it. And Sean gives away memberships, always so supportive. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Pirate Ken came in with $50. Here's to Mark. There's a state ballot initiative idea for a one-off 5% tax on individuals' net worth exceeding $1 billion. Question: could such a measure possibly trigger a wealth exodus or potential problems related to implementation? Yeah.
Well, first of all, it has triggered a wealth exodus. They have left. Sergio Brin and others have left the California to avoid, including Spielberg, I mean, just really odd, eclectic group of people. The 5% tax on individuals' wealth, they keep swearing when you know they're lying that this is a one-time only. They will do it every single year if they can pull this off. They will go to this well anytime the budget is upside down by their insane social spending. They keep lying about this. They've lied about every one of these budget initiatives their whole lives. So, this money grab of 5% of $1 billion, what they're trying to do to get it through is demonize people who've made $1 billion. Well, good luck with that, because there's a lot of them in Southern California and Northern California.
I agree. And by the way, their promise is, one time until next time. It's very similar to when I was a heavy smoker, and I quit smoking at least 15 to 20 times a day until the next cigarette.
Well, yeah, they're addicted to taking the wealth. They're addicted to their socialist programs that are constantly in need of money sources, like vampires. They're kind of like financial vampires trying to get the blood, the money out of. They have to keep going. It's like some sort of parasite.
I totally agree. And all right, before we shift back in the stories, we got a rant from King of Biltong. Turn up the flavor with Piri. It's a Piri Piri or Peri Peri, Peri. Anyway, Biltong, mild heat, big flavor, over 50% protein. God, that is a lot of protein. I knew there was a lot. To keep you going, try the full Piri Piri range at biltongusa.com, code AUS with 10% off. And that's biltong with a G.com. So, biltongusa.com. Forgive me. Definitely check that out. And we'll get some more super chats later. But while we're talking about, the hatred of Jews and Israel, hey, it's a gift that keeps giving, including Nick Kristof. Apparently,
this guy. Oh my
he's
God.
so bad. This dweeb is so bad that internally, Nick Kristof's incendiary Israel abuse claims spark civil war at New York Times. I'm sick of being embarrassed.
Yeah, they're talking off the record, but apparently this is tearing apart the internal fabric of the New York Times, God forbid, because this guy is so anti-Semitic. Dershowitz called it the equivalent of the modern protocols of the elders of Zion, what he is writing in this article, that the Israelis train dogs to rape Palestinians, is so off the rails. And it's something you might see on Candace Owens, not in the pages of the New York Times. People are just stunned by how depraved Christoph has become. He's always been an anti-Israeli, anti-Jew hater, but this has gone so far off the rails, Eric, as to be, people are protesting outside of the New York Times now. This is completely made out of whole cloth, completely insane. They've reached a new low. I mean, this is from a newspaper that hid the Holocaust and put it on page 35 of their newspaper during the Holocaust. So it's not surprising the source, and everybody says, well, the owners are Jewish. It's irrelevant. So is George Soros. It doesn't really matter when you're a Marxist revolutionary. Your religion is not part of it. That it's just a name only. And this family has been the leaders of the anti-Holocaust movement, not denying the Holocaust, but playing it down during and after the events in their own paper of record. And now this is a new low. This is really a new low, even for the New York Times.
Well, I mean, is it no surprise? Barry Weiss left to go on her own. Remember, she didn't come. She was New York Times, then went to her Substack, and then went to CBS. But I wouldn't feel comfortable working there. And there's a lot of Jewish.
Well, I think Trump should sue them, and like he did with the Guardian in England, sue these sons of bitches for civil rights violations.
Yeah,
get Harmeet Dillon on this. There are people who work there. There are normal people who work there who don't want to be part of this thing, but it's their job. And they go home at night saying, honey, today we learned in the paper that the Israelis are training dogs to rape Palestinians.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't use the word, okay? It's like, don't
dwell on it then.
Dogs do bad things. Yeah.
Move on to the next story.
All right. So,
sorry.
Speaking of somebody who had language that came out as being a little bit racist, sadly, Mark Fuhrman, very famously of the O.J. Simpson trial, has just passed away, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember the story, I mean, he was being interviewed for a book. There's more to it than meets the eye. I don't have the time to really go into it. The more interesting thing was the bloody glove than the interview about the novel he was working on that had the N-word in this tape recording. But the glove itself is a method that most city police forces use, telephone for Al Gonzalez, when they feel a perpetrator is definitely guilty. They will help out the prosecution by doing things that Mark Fuhrman did. I don't, where the bloody glove was and how he found it is part of what urban police forces have done for decades. And we saw it in Dallas with the JFK assassination. We've seen it in New York. We've seen it in LA. When they feel a guy is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, they will lie on the stand for the prosecution. They will plant evidence for the prosecution. Again, this is when they believe a guy is completely guilty, as Mark Fuhrman believed.
And we're not exactly encouraging it.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying it's a fact of urban police life, Al Gonzalez, and the planting of the glove, I think, was part of that. He didn't even think twice about it.
And apparently, he had been hospitalized due to cancer for his last week, and he passed away. So anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. He's a controversial figure in history, right. But he is there.
Right.
And they did not have DNA evidence at the time, and some other things that obviously have made it much easier. I mean,
I'll tell you who was a controversial figure who passed away yesterday was Claudine Longet.
Oh, well, I was going to get to that.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did. But I was going to jump. We'll swing back to it. Let me jump to here because while we're on race, I was like, let's just keep this theme going here. Washington Nationals have banned a fan for displaying a racist banner during salute to service at game.
You know, this seems like a left-wing attempt to do this. This is too. It was too well done. The banner was too well made. It's in Washington. That has to be taken into consideration. This was not a game in Cleveland. This is Baltimore versus Washington, and I believe they are a front for the left.
That could be.
Yeah, I don't know. The banner just talked about some website, whitereplacement.org or something. It's on the banner. I don't know if there's a photo of the banner, but most of the.
Yeah, I don't see it. It's like they were too afraid to put the banner up.
No. It's in the New York Post. I mean, the banner was so well made. It wasn't even a banner. It was like a professional commercial sign that they unfurled. And plenty of people have done political stuff at stadiums, you know, and getting kicked out or whatever happens. But they're very rarely on the right. I mean, you could famously, they just celebrated, I think it was the 60th anniversary of Rick Monday scooping up the American flag on fire in center field in Dodger Stadium and taking it away from two anti-war protesters who were setting on fire. There's been plenty of things on the left in stadiums, baseball stadiums, for 50 years. Things have happened, but this looked too tiki torchy, Eric.
It could be, but it could also be. Some people call Breitbart.com a nationalist website,
right?
And it was not. So it could also be a legitimate thing, like saying deport the people, blah 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 blah. That's not necessarily racist. So
no, I didn't say it was. There was nothing racist in the banner. It said deport 10 million on the bottom, and it said whitereplacement.org or something.
Right. Now there is the white replacement theory that is out there. People have been talking about it for a while. People, say it's a fear-mongering technique, and then there's people saying, "Have you looked at mayors in London or mayors in England?" There's definitely been some sort of replacement happening with the mayors in that country of every large city, etc. So it's one of those that, yes, it is a loaded term, but that doesn't make it inaccurate.
Right.
So it's interesting. And one more while we're on race, I thought this was kind of funny, and I love this name, Nolte, Pretendian. I like
That's
that.
Great.
Pretendian.
Wow. Another Pocahontas.
Yep. Buffy Sainte-Marie stripped of honorary doctorate.
Well, look what it says. The Elizabeth Warren of folk singers. That's even funnier.
That's true, but I like Pretendian.
Pretendian, right. Wow.
I like that a lot. It
wow.
rolls off the
not
tongue.
Native American, apparently. All these years, her real name was Beverly Jean Santa Maria, is to a whiter than English Italian family of
Oh God, she's not even Latino.
No, she's Italian. Although her
it.
story has changed through the decades, she appeared to settle on the fable that she was born to Cree parents in Canada. Then at age 3, the cruel government stripped her from her birth parents to live with this white family in Massachusetts. She's made up this entire fucking storyline. She was huge in the 60s, by the way, Buffy Sainte-Marie. She was at every fit. What's that?
Why go halfway if you're going to make up the bullshit?
Right. Yeah. I mean, totally insane. And I think this was, by the way, I think it was an honorary degree at the University of Toronto, by the way.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
But it's still
It's still shaming her. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll take it as a victory. Tip of the hat.
All right.
National steel guitar.
Now, something that is a little bit of shame is, Trump says he was an hour away from an Iran strike.
Look, I can't take it anymore.
Big hit if the negotiations fail. And supposedly, I think JD Vance is saying that there's very real progress being made.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Well, it's a difficult spot. They've got him in a difficult spot because They're jerking him around, and his cocaine is deal making. Right. So he wants to make a deal. They know that psychologically. They have his profile, and they just keep saying, yes, we're talking to you about the nuclear material. And he goes, yes, the nuclear material, yes. We're thinking about getting rid of it. Okay, thank you. And then they're stringing this guy along because he does want a deal. But at some point, he has to pull the plug, Eric. You can't just keep going back and forth like this.
That's true. And culturally speaking, they're experts at stringing things along. I mean, a lot of the Middle Eastern culture is negotiation, long, stretched out. Hospitality is very huge there, but they go on and on and on. So everything delay. I mean, they're masters at it. Far
in
better.
This case, you're right. There's a ticking clock on this thing. This is not negotiating over building a hotel in Tehran, for Christ's sakes. This is with a gun at their heads, a loaded weapon pointed at their heads, and they're not blinking. They're saying, yes, we agree with you. We want to negotiate. Yes. Well, this will take us at least 3 years to negotiate with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and again, they've had a gun pointed to their head internally for their whole lives. So
may I suggest an interstitial like what Nixon did in Vietnam, bomb the living shit out of them for 2 days, call them on the phone, have a ceasefire, bomb the living shit out of them for 2 days, call them on the phone, have a ceasefire. These long delays in violent military action gives them incredible hope that they could stretch this thing out, which they've done beyond the limit now. He needs to interstitially bomb the living shit out of them for 1 or 2 days at a time. Stop, do it again, stop, do it again, stop, do it again. Not this 1 month off of vacation where they're just, sunning themselves, waiting for Trump to buckle or the midterms to come.
No, we'll see what happens this weekend.
Yeah.
We got Memorial Day weekend, a nice long holiday weekend.
Right. But what I'm suggesting is a series of interstitial bombings to bring them to their knees. Not a bombing for 2 weeks, just 2 days, and then call them on the phone. And call them on the phone and 2 days later after you do it.
Well, that's why I'm saying it. I believe Memorial Day is Monday, so it's a long holiday weekend. He likes to bomb on Fridays. Don't be surprised if Friday through Saturday, maybe even Sunday, there's your 2 days, maybe even 3, that could
It's got to be done that way. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. There's long gaps here. They're making a monkey out of him. They're jerking him around. He can't keep saying to the American public, we're getting closer to a deal. And then they go, okay, they pulled the rug on me again. You can only do it a couple of times, Eric. He's done it like 8 times now. I mean, after a while, it becomes a fucking joke, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. So we'll find out. So, okay, shifting back, as you were bringing up earlier, we go from one singer who had her degree stripped away to another one who just passed away. Claudine Longet, the singer and actress, married formerly to Andy Williams, I believe, before getting with Spider the skier.
Yeah.
She murdered him, Vladimir Spider Savage. In what was it, 76? Yeah, 76.
I remember when it happened. It was a big to-do at the time, Eric. Spider Savage was one of the top skiers in the world. She began an affair with him while married to Andy Williams. She was on the Andy Williams show. He had a variety show and brought her and her children onto the show repeatedly. If people of a certain age who remember the Andy Williams show and her, raise your hand in the chat, because she was on a bunch of times. She was also on shows, Gilligan's Island, I think, or Get Smart, or she had these various different cameos on a bunch of different shows. She came from France. She was a singer, actress type, married to Andy Williams, has this affair with Spider Savage, shoots him in the stomach with a .22 and kills him. And in the bathroom of their, I want to say, condo in Aspen, her defense for the trial, Andy Williams escorted her to the courthouse every single day as a show of solidarity. He also paid for her entire defense. This is what the guy who was cheated on.
This is what you call a cuckold.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Andy Williams escorts her, pays for the entire defense. Now, what's the defense? The defense in her case was that he was showing her how to use the gun, and it went off, killing him.
Oops.
The sentence was insane. It was a $250 fine and 30 days in jail for murdering someone. And the defense got her off with this insane sentence. So what did she do to help Andy Williams? She married immediately her defense lawyer. Now, that's only part of the story. Every weekend update that was going on during the trial on SNL each week had Olympic footage of Spider Savage going down the slope and then a rifle shot, and they went, down goes Savage, down goes Savage. And every weekend update, I think for a month, they kept showing footage, Olympic footage of Savage falling and the rifle shot, which was so dark.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Meanwhile, the National Lampoon's like, damn it, that could have been us.
Yeah, she died yesterday, but that's what she's known for, is that murder trial and SNL stuff.
Wow.
Got away with murder. Got away with murder.
This may be a national tragedy for some. I will say it's a tragedy for many of those who are on a budget. And apparently, Schlitz beer has officially been discontinued after 177 years.
Wow.
This
I've
is
drank
posted
my
today.
share of Schlitz. I
right.
didn't know Pabst bought them in 1999.
No.
While it was famous in Milwaukee, Schlitz left a legacy throughout Chicago. Yeah, it was like the Midwestern working class beer. People, let me see if you know Schlitz in the chat. Raise your hand if you ever drank a Schlitz beer.
The Schlitz happens, absolutely.
Yeah, Schlitz happens. Thank you. Yeah.
I remember it well. Schlitz was a cut above Stroh's Black Label. So the bottom of the barrel was Stroh's Black Label, and then Schlitz.
What about Old Bohemian? Anybody drink Old Bo? I mean, that was below both of those.
I'm not familiar with that one. I know that Budweiser was a luxury compared to Schlitz.
That's true. That's true.
So
Old Bohemian was Old Milwaukee was another one.
Old Milwaukee.
Old Milwaukee and Old Bohemian.
But there's one fewer now.
Yeah,
Schlitz
that's sad, bro.
has gone by. So cheers, and pour one out for a long-standing beer. Anyway, I saw that. I was like, okay, well, you got to cover that now. We'll shift to a story we touched on. I don't know if you've read more into it. I told you I'm pretty guilty of not digging deeply. But more UFO files have been released.
Yeah, I just want to show you the picture of Trump with the aliens to show you this one here. No, please. I mean, please explain this to me, why this is of interest to the United States. There's an alien in chains being led by Trump. This is a glorified meme.
This is not AI?
No, not according to the government. This is in their photo collection.
Oh, my Christ.
That's why I wanted to cover the story, simply because of this photo. They're making hay out of this thing. And I'm laughing, going, are you fucking kidding us?
All right. I think that, to me, that looks like a meme and AI, and he shared it. I could be wrong, but it does look like that.
Again, they're not framing it like that, Eric.
Oh my God. All right. Well,
anyway, more to be revealed in this incredible revelatory UFO release month.
And I will confess that this is probably not the best channel to get the in-depth coverage of the subject.
A former CIA scientist who came out today saying that they have the bodies of 4 different types of extraterrestrials, and he named the different types: insectoid, reptilian, the grays, and a 4th one, which I forget. That they have bodies of 4 different physical bodies of 4 different extraterrestrials.
Okay.
But he's the CIA scientist for what that's worth.
All right. Well, I'm going to shift to a really tragic, sad story in New York. This is one of those that on the surface, it would be in a movie and it'd be a comedic moment, but sadly it actually led to a death. And that is the nightmarish final words of grandmother, 56, who fell to her death down a New York City manhole after parking Mercedes outside of Cartier. Witness reveals horrifying new details about plunge and awful aftermath.
This fireman tried to rescue her, who was actually off duty, who was there, but she was 10 feet down below and scalding boiling liquid down the manhole. That's her car. They put this there afterwards.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. It should not be open. I mean, that should have been completely blocked off. How could she get out of her car to have it happen? That's crazy.
Okay, if I can explain,
please.
I will try to explain in New Yorkese how this happened, and every New Yorker knows what I'm talking about. During a heat wave, which they're currently experiencing, every summer, manhole covers will get blown out by this. Yes, and that's what happened here. This happened probably the same hour that she pulled up, and that manhole cover went sky high out from where it was. It was open. She pulled up, stepped out of her car into the hole. This is quite common in New York City in the summer for New Yorkers who I'm talking to. Is it a freak accident? Absolutely. But the manhole cover was not left off intentionally. They get blown out by heat waves in the summer sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just talking to someone in New York about it this morning.
That is a hell of a...
They put a manhole cover there, and then they put the thing around it. But these guys know what happened. That's what happened. The thing blew out. They're very heavy, too. I mean, it's not like you can get... the pressure builds up and the steam and everything, and it goes boom. And sometimes they go 40, 50 feet in the air, Eric.
Wow.
It's been happening my whole life. I mean, everybody in New York knows this happens.
That is
but it's a weird, freaky coincidence, and it's right in front of Cartier. It's like on 52nd Street. It could have happened anywhere, but she lined up her door by accident at night and stepped out foot first into the hole.
Wow.
Yeah, just a freaky, weird thing.
And and like I said, that's one of those that, like in a cartoon, it'd be funny, but in real life, it's like, no.
No, it was. If you read into the article, it's too dark to even talk about.
You know, I don't know why it popped in my head, but when I was a kid, they always talked about tarring and feathering. And,
that freaked me out.
And they would show it in the cartoons.
Yeah,
it was kind of a and I had it in my mind that it was like, ha ha ha. But then I really understood how serious and horrible.
You could never get it off, and
oh no, and you die. I mean, people died from it. It's just unimaginable the pain. And they just kind of casually say, tarred and feathered, the tax collector,
they put them in the stock. They would be in the stock there, but you'd be in there for weeks, and then you would die of malnutrition and starvation. The old ladies would come and give some of the people in the stock some water from a cup,
which is just unimagiable. And that's like and that's like the weird one too, like the crucifix when they actually died of suffocation.
How about the Romans? They put a steel box on your chest, and there was a rat in it, and they pulled the door off of it on the bottom. And then the heat from the steel box drove the rat into cooler places, which happens to be your chest.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a dark one.
And so, folks, if you want a little dark, random moments, welcome to the show.
How about sewn into the body of a goat, into the carcass of a goat, with your head sticking out of the ass? That was a great Roman torture technique.
Or you could go the bull, which is an iron giant bull, and you go inside there, and they have a fire underneath, and you just
that one I never heard of. I never heard of that one. That's good.
All right. Well, everybody note that in order to be safe, consider subscribing.
Yeah, you have more torture techniques every week. You subscribe to torture.com. Historically great tortures of world history.
And tell a friend.
Tell a friend. And
it's-
hey, Bobby, they're discussing torture. Come on.
Speaking of torturous, I just happened by this picture here on Daily Mail or article, and it's a disturbing trove of images that proves Spencer Pratt's grim Los Angeles claims are true. The filthy reality is even worse than people think. Well, let's look. Is that an exaggeration? Oh, maybe not.
This is
That's
just a crazy
gross.
lady underneath the Harbor Freeway. This is her morning. This is her meth. Good morning. I've taken off my clothes. I'm completely insane. This is Hollywood Boulevard, obviously, over here with the stars.
He's just napping.
Just taking a nap. I mean, it's just endless. You could
Isn't
drive
that Andy
around.
Dick? Oh, sorry.
It looks like Andy Dick. You could drive around and make a documentary any day of the week just by just randomly driving. And
Oh, that's so nice. Look at
right.
that.
I should vote for the woman who created this because she needs more years to clean this up.
Yeah. Well, no, she's worried about their dental care.
Their dental care. She's got to get them free teeth. I think they might have run out of ideas, Eric.
You think? Anyway, yeah. Jesus. These are the tourist areas, apparently.
I mean, these photos are the equivalent of what we saw in black and white of the Great Depression. And that was economic reasons. This is drug reasons. The lie that families are living in their cars has dissipated. The lie that these are mentally ill has dissipated. The truth has finally come out that 93% of them are meth and fentanyl addicts living on the street and stealing and smoking and getting their free new pipes being delivered to them, their free new syringes being delivered to them by the city of Los Angeles, their free new tent is delivered to them. We now know the truth. They've lied repeatedly to keep these phony NGOs going. The brilliance of the Marxist takedown of American taxpayers' money is the funneling of money from the city taxes to NGOs. That's where it happens.
Yeah, there's only one nice place being shown here, and that's, of course, Karen Bass's house.
Look how beautiful that house is. I know exactly where that is in Hancock Park.
Taxpayer funded.
Yep.
Wow. What a
I mean,
disaster.
if you go back in time.
Oh, look at that. The Hollywood Walk.
Who is that? No, I can't see. It's upside down. Who the Telly Savalas. Telly Savalas.
He's looking at you, baby.
He gets his mail delivered at Telly Savalas' star. He gets his ballot delivered.
Yeah.
His homeless ballot.
All right. Well.
Oh, there was an arrest of a woman in Marina Del Rey who was running a ballot thing going on, and the feds got her, and she was one of the leaders of it. She's apoplectic about it. Phony collect from the homeless. Collected phony signatures on ballot initiatives. This thing here is great. Not for the one woman, but for the symbolic event that there's going to be others.
Oh, of course.
She illegally paid the homeless $2 to $3 to register to vote, and it didn't even matter. She just said, use my home address. And the reason that mattered for her home address was she got delivered hundreds and thousands of mail-in ballots. It's not in the article. She got delivered to her home, homeless ballots for these people. And she then had stacks of pristine mail-in ballots with vagrants as the guy on there, which allowed her to vote any which way she wanted using her address. Here she is giving out the money. This is where she went to get the signatures.
Canvassing.
Canvassing the voting population of the Democratic Party. This really is a breath of
undercover video here.
Yeah.
Petitioner Brenda Brown hands cash money to the homeless person, not only for signing the California ballot initiative, but also as payment for them to register to vote.
Now, because you haven't registered, I need to register you so I can get paid too. I'm paying you guys, I need to get paid.
That is a federal felony. And it didn't just happen once. It happened over and over and over again. We personally witnessed and covertly filmed this happening at least 28 times over the span of our investigation. And that is just in Los Angeles. Many of the homeless have zero understanding of what it is that they're actually signing.
But what is that petition for? You know the petition for?
The petitioners instruct the homeless to enter made-up addresses like Pinocchio Lane.
What do I put as my address? Yeah, just put you live on Pinocchio Lane. Oh, you can put
Pinocchio.
Good.
And all of this occurring
I gotta
just
vote.
outside
I gotta
the front
vote.
doors
I
of
gotta vote.
shelters and NGOs such as Weingart Center.
Wow.
You know, but I mean, part of the thing they didn't mention, which I just mentioned, is getting her these ballots mailed to herself. And they did not mention that aspect of the fraud, which is really important. Not
well,
this
that
one
might be in this presentation here. I think this is
Okay.
Harmeet Dillon talking about it.
Yeah.
Voter fraud. In the case of United States versus Brown Armstrong, and we'll have a graphic up there in a moment. The Department of Justice has charged a longtime California signature gatherer under 52 USC section 10307 subsection C with one count of paying another person to register to vote in a federal election. The defendant, Brenda Lee Brown Armstrong, has signed a plea agreement and has admitted her guilt on this charge.
Put her on
According to the
trial.
plea agreement, and my colleague Bill Asaley will be able to answer any specific questions about it.
Bullshit.
She worked as a petition circulator, aka signature gatherer here in Los Angeles for approximately 20 years. And starting in 2025 or so, after Ms. Brown Armstrong had a practice of going down to Skid Row here in Los Angeles, getting homeless people to sign these signature petitions that had to do with qualifying ballot measures and et cetera, she would sometimes find that the signatures would be disqualified because the people signing these signature petitions weren't actually registered to vote. So to remedy this flaw in her business arrangements, she would then gather, starting in 2025, stacks of voter registration forms from the Los Angeles County Registrar of Voters, and then go to Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles to have homeless people first sign the voter registration forms and then sign the signature petitions. And she did this in exchange for cash and other items of value, inducements both for the voter registration and for the signature petitions. These were often small sums of cash, just a few dollars, as well as cigarettes and phone cards. On several occasions, when the homeless person had no formal address to enter on the voter registration form, Ms. Brown Armstrong provided them with a fake address, namely her own former address in Los Angeles, to write on the voter registration form. Now, the potential charges and sentence rather would include 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of up to $10,000. This case is important because it shows how easy it is under California law to corrupt the state's voter rolls and thereby corrupt the state and federal elections administered by the state.
This is the first case I've ever seen this ever brought. Breath of fresh air. I wish it could have been more draconian. Not accepting the plea deal and putting her on trial. And I'll tell you why. She, at that level of signature gathering, you get, Eric, possibly as high as $1.50 to $2 per signature. That's how she's made her living for 20 years. That's the going rate for all the petitions that you see, that we see out on the street, not just voting, anything. It's $1.50 a signature. That's what that gives them the incentive, even for regular causes that they have different signature gathering things for. She has made a living at $1.50 per signature. Who gave her the $1.50? That's what I want to know. Who are the ones paying her to do this? By accepting this plea deal, it cuts off the flow of information, where if she had gone to trial, she could have flipped and said, these are the people paying me, the LA Democratic Society, or whoever the hell is paying for this thing, because it's not her. She's
to be
getting
fair, we don't know if there wasn't any kind of exchange in the background that has not been revealed at this point.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying this is how the system works. Right. She gets $1.50 a signature. There's a reason she's been doing this for 20 years. And not only that, by putting her own address or another address that she has access to, she now can get the most valuable currency in Los Angeles, and that's pristine mail-in ballots that she can sell or give to her people who are paying her, I presume, the $1.50 per signature. So there's much more to this than was discussed by Harmeet Dillon in that press conference, standing there with Bill Asaley, by the way, the acting prosecutor in Los Angeles now, acting federal prosecutor.
I have hopes, though, that, because sometimes when she accepted the deal and is being sentenced, but that doesn't mean that there weren't other factors. Like now she's going to go testify.
Maybe. I hope so.
That might have been part of it. Like you get this deal if you do blah, blah, blah.
Right. We don't know what they're going to do with her. I hate to see her get a slap on the wrist for the one felony count and be cut loose, to go back to her home without revealing what I just discussed, because she's not the mastermind behind this. The follow the money, to cop an old phrase.
Totally agree. Speaking of following the money, and may not be homeless, but they may feel like they're homeless. Brazen bride slaps $250 per person fee on a wedding invite, and guests are forced to sleep on air mattresses.
Look at the invitation, though. I read this last night. We reserved an Airbnb so all of our loved ones could spend the entire time together. First of all, I would never want to be part of that part.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's insane.
With that being said,
there's no need for hotel rooms. Well, that would be my first sign to get a hotel room. More details. There will be a $250 fee per person made payable to me. This will cover your cost for a room as well as your RSVP. You're not getting a room. You're getting an air mattress in a bedroom.
Now, there is hope. It does say, please RSVP by April 1st, which could imply that it was all a practical joke for April Fool's Day, I hope, but no, I don't know.
It wasn't. There's photos of the air mattress in the Airbnb. No, this wedding went on. They started complaining there's multiple air mattresses, and closer friends or relatives actually got a bed in a bedroom.
Well, these are stock photos, so just to say
this might be a stock photo too of a
bride. Both of these are stock photos.
Right. But the point of the matter is the $250 cover charge is a new low, just a new low. People on Reddit are going crazy.
Yeah, that's among the worst. But while we're talking about getting money from people, hey, we got some super chats from Australia.
Hey,
Anthony, still saying it's Trump's fault. It's going to be an ongoing theme. Bob Tranquilli, greetings from beautiful Chilliwack.
Man, there's
British
a lot of
Columbia,
Canadians who
Canada.
watch this show. I mean, maybe they can't come across the border anymore.
Well, no, but they're keeping the faith there, just like folks in England are keeping the faith.
Boy, that Robinson rally was great, wasn't it? That Tommy Robinson rally.
Yeah.
Dude,
huge turnout. And I think Keir Starmer is finally going to leave.
I heard that.
He says he's dragging his feet and kicking and screaming. But let me see. Boboism. It's mainly single women who vote strongly left. Married women, just as conservatives as married men. Yeah, in general, most couples.
It's not even general, but you're correct. You do what you and your wife act together as a couple.
Most do.
The arch nemesis of the American experience and dream are single white women and black single women. That's an oxymoron for the black single women because that's a 92 percentile number. White single women are the nanny state's entire victim rolled into one. And this guy's right. We'll vote as far left as humanly possible.
Well, and to be fair, if spouses aren't voting together, that's not always a good sign, because one of the main things to get married on is shared values.
Of course.
If you don't share values, it's very hard to maintain a relationship over extended time. So most couples will vote together because,
except for Edith and All in the Family, I voted the other way, Archie.
Yeah.
I voted for the Democrat, Archie. I'm so sorry.
You're an idiot, Edith. You know that? You're a real idiot. Remember there was an episode where they split their vote.
Oh no, obviously it does happen. That's why I said most, and we'll get 50 comments in saying, I know Bill and Jane never vote together, and I know 20 people. Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah.
There was an article about the oldest marriage in Hollywood in the paper, 99 years old and 98 years old. They've been married for 75 years. It was a couple that was on Little House on the Prairie. And they asked him the secret of their incredible longevity in Hollywood in their marriage. And the woman simply said, "We've had an open marriage the entire time."
Well,
we have an open marriage. She's 98 and he's 97. It's an open marriage.
Corolla, who famously got divorced in the past few years, used to always say separate TVs and rooms.
Oh, interesting.
So,
interesting.
But but that didn't work out either. Let me see. William Ratcliffe says, looks like Hunter has hepatitis. No.
Hold on.
Pam out of Texas saying, happy Tuesday, guys. I voted for Ken Paxton yesterday here in Texas in early voting.
Way to go,
There
Pam.
you go. And now you got Trump support. So yeah, all is in alignment.
Beautiful. There's a lot of doom and gloom on the right. You notice that? There's a lot of doom and gloomers.
Well, yeah, partly because they're getting the well poisoned every 10 minutes by the Tucker Carlson's, Candace Owens, and hit pieces on Ben Shapiro by New York. And
dude, it's just on end. I mean, it's not only unacceptable. I think it's irreparable at this point. The damage that they've done is so extraneously irreparable and uncalled for that I don't know if you could ever allow these people in civil society again.
I hope they don't. I mean, it's like, especially like the Megyn Kelly grift train, who's so obviously, transparently, just because she's been on both sides. This whole,
all of them have,
and then the other, and then the other.
They all have. They all have.
Yeah, I mean, well, Candace has just always been a grifter. Anyway, let me see. William Ratcliffe, the RNC needs to hire Pratt for their ad campaign.
That's a great idea. I don't know.
That's true. Or at least Charlie.
Make him the head of the RNC. How about that for a move?
He's doing great things here. Lynn Bleckstein. I know of 7 people going to LA to vote for Spencer Pratt since there are no voter ID laws, and they plan on voting more than once. What a way to use their own Democratic vote laws against them. I don't encourage that. That is anecdotal. That's somebody just making shit up. We don't support it. When
I go to physically vote, they open up a book and I have to sign the register.
Right.
And it's got my name and address in the same precinct.
Like I have here.
Yeah, it's the same thing. We have the same thing here. The only thing is the mail-in ballot controversy, which I believe you're going to have to bring with you and give them the mail-in ballot so you don't vote both ways. And I reported it on this show a month and a half ago that it's in the fine print now and it was new. I'm going to see if that happens because they could do some chicanery about that if people are not hip to it.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all. James Bundy, the good Bundy, gifted 5 America's Untold Stories memberships. Thank you so much, James. We do appreciate that. K-Dog, great show. The Republicans still saying, what's the smallest possible next step? If they lose power, many of them will get destroyed with no mercy.
Of course. I mean, it's just, they don't even fear for their own lives or their children's lives if this other side gets back in power. It's just astounding.
Yeah. It is what it is. Pew Pew. Coming in hot again. Let me see. $21 towards Mark's no words re-education class. Good luck. You're going to go broke, dude. I appreciate it.
My mother had a foul mouth than I did. My mother was like a sailor.
The problem is that Mark is just stating real words from like real headlines and real newspapers that are banished. And it's very, very frustrating. Meanwhile, he could say the F word as long as it's far enough in the show. No problem. You could say that. It's like, come on now. And we do try not to say it too much. I mean, when we do, it's just because we're in the moment emotionally, not trying to go out of our way to do it. K-Dog, I'd like to see Mark on The View.
Oh,
I second that.
That would be dude. I'd love to talk to Whoopi. I haven't talked to Whoopi in so many years since we pulled her off the fucking stage at Avery Fisher Hall because she was bombing, and we replaced her in the middle of the show with Buddy Hackett. That was the last time I spoke to Whoopi Goldberg, that piece of shit.
I would say that Mark on The View would be the greatest appearance since Norm Macdonald.
I would love to be on The View. I would love to talk to Whoopi.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Big Bill 767 said, Schlitz beer. 2 guys are walking to end of pier, passing the time. They count the slips in each side. They get so involved that they walk off the pier into the water. Moral of the story, I guess. When you're out of sips, you're out of beer.
Slips.
Or out of slips, you're out of beer.
That's funny.
All right. Well, that's a perfect note, I guess, then to end on. But we may be ending here on YouTube and Rumble, but we're not actually ending because we're going to continue this over on Locals.
Okay.
You may have heard of Locals. It's unstructured.locals.com. There's a link down below in the description. You can always click that, come on by, determine if you want to support us, but you can become a member there for free and still continue to watch the show and look around, see if you like it, and then maybe give us some support. We always appreciate it very much. And when you're a member there, paid, not paid, otherwise, you'll always get a notification the show's coming up today, things like that, in your email and stuff like that. We never know what's going on with YouTube. If you've been following things lately, it's insane. Demonetization left and right, channels being struck left and right. It's just a bloodbath right now. So by being there, you actually can see, you'll get a notice. We can't have a show this week because YouTube did blah, 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 or something like that. So if anything, it just helps on that. And that can be free. If you do choose to support us there and join, you can interact, you can comment, you can post yourself, you can talk with other people, hang out in the chat, talk trash at us. Some people use it as a license to troll, especially me on the channel. There's a lot of options in sharing it, and there's a lot of bonus material that you can check out, some rare PDFs and books that are nearly impossible to find, 5-part audio drama of Oswald that Mark worked with Oliver Stone to create, and we've turned that into an audio drama of another one with LBJ. There's a lot of good stuff there. Again, unstructured.locals.com, and I hope to see all of you there, or many of you there, momentarily.